What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about online spoilers. Now, this was a topic, or this is a topic, that I've really wanted to talk about for an incredibly long time. I know it's going to be controversial. I know I'll probably say something that upsets somebody out there, but I want to kind of just get all my feelings out there in terms of who's to blame when something gets spoiled online, and also talk about the different aspects. Why are things, or how are things spoiled online, and have that discussion. I know this is a topic that relates to pretty much everybody. I think we can all kind of have our own personal stories. I know that I've had many of things ruined for me on social media, on Twitter, on YouTube. Now, some of the stuff I do it to myself, and actually, again, we'll talk about that. Is it us actually doing it? But I mean, like, I've created things that have also then backfired in terms of my coverage of Pirates of the Caribbean back in the day on this channel. I had it spoiled for me because people left comments on my videos talking about the big spoiler of Pirates 5 that Barbossa died. So I knew that going in, and that's happened. I think I knew Han was going to die in episode 7, before, a couple days before, or a day before, because of the video. So, like, my channel, because I've created it, has been it has hurt me from time to time. Okay, and by the way, I've also made mistakes. I was there were times where I was very stupid in terms of planning when to talk about certain things when a movie or games come out. I am not saying I'm completely in the clear. I think it's only happened maybe 1 to 2 times, and I've apologized, and I think I've done well in 4,000 videos to literally only make it happen twice. So I feel good about myself. I don't really care about what other people think about me as long as I know where I stand, and I know that I feel good. So let me just say this, okay? Because, again, this can be controversial, and this can be something that upsets people. I think there's shared blame when it comes to online spoilers. Now, the reason I will put it on the social media platform, or even like the creator or something like that, is because it's part of the system. So you have to assign some blame there. And what I mean by that mainly is what gets people a lot, and what people always say, well, I opened YouTube and I wasn't subscribed to this person, but their thing showed in my recommendation, and then I knew that this thing happened because of that. That, I will say, I feel for, I understand. That I will put the blame directly on the kind of click farming that obviously certain people want. And by the way, a lot of these people that do these things or get these clicks, and these people are maybe so mad at, or maybe they're not, these people don't care, and they also are just so small and irrelevant, but then they pop up when these, I saw very briefly titles and thumbnail spoilers of Spider-Man No Way Home. People just had uploaded clips of when the certain Spider-Man walked in and stuff. That was just on YouTube. Now, these accounts the day before would have had 0 subscribers, 0 views, right? Nobody actually, but for some reason, right? Wink, wink. YouTube, these kind of things get pushed, or these kind of things, I guess, are allowed to grow within the algorithm that makes it possible for somebody like you or me, who we're not subscribed to X55-4B. These people don't exist, you know what I mean? They just kind of pop up. So in that way, I will blame the carrier, right? The YouTube, the Twitter, stuff like that. I mean, I saw stuff on the Book of Boba Fett. I don't follow anybody on Twitter that talks about the Book of Boba Fett, but because it's a hot topic, I'm seeing oh, maybe you'll like this. This is a Book of Boba Fett topic, and there's a tweet the day the show is out, and it's talking about stuff. It's well, I don't even follow these things, and they're there, okay? So in that way, I'm going to chalk up the L. I'm going to give the blame to them. Now, I do want to say this, though, because this is the controversy stuff. This is stuff that I've tried to argue quite often, right? Depending on severity and depending on what exactly is spoiled, and also context. Context, in my opinion, context is key. I would put a lot of the blame on the individual. And I it's controversial just in the way that I don't think people want to blame themselves. And I don't think it makes you an evil person. I don't think you're disgusting. You disgust me. You know what I mean? If you, you know what I mean? It's fine. It's fine. But I do think you should take a little bit of the criticism. Now, again, context is key. What exactly am I talking about? Okay. if Scream comes out, right? And again, like, it depends on what I title something or what my thumbnail is and a lot of other different things. But to boil it down, if Scream comes out and you're this diehard mega fan, and I'm just using Scream as it could be anything, okay? I guess you could use the Book of Boba Fett too. You know what? So a thing comes out and you're such a diehard fan, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so into it. And, I've watched all these videos and all this stuff. And then if you go online and you know that you follow people, or even like, again, you're a diehard of this certain thing, which means you're probably in the circle of that certain thing somewhere. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you know what I mean? It's on you to not go online. I do agree with the general idea of, it's like, why do content creators or anybody who posts, why do they need to be, so there is like a mutual respect thing, like having those, again, blatant kind of titles and stuff like that, maybe the day something comes out. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that anything goes whenever, but I do think that you need to take some personal responsibility of, well, I know this is probably going to happen, and I'm going to take some responsibility for myself, and I'm not going to go online, or I'm going to turn off notifications on this channel that I know talks about. Like, these are easy steps that anybody can do. And what oftentimes happens is these people pass off the blame to the They say, well, they're the person making the content. They need to care about my feelings, and they need to not do this stuff because I said so. See, that's very much like the inverse of what you know what I mean? They are passing off the blame and saying that they demand that they, and by the way, like, these are very, I guess, specific people, the kinds of examples I'm using, but these people demand that they should be allowed to just go and be completely safe and just know they're safe everywhere. Everybody needs to abide by them, and and that's that. Whereas then the content creator needs to change their stuff in regarding. Now, again, like posting X person death scene day one, or even like the day before, because maybe you saw it earlier, like that. Like, obviously, there's steps too far, but then you also have to think, well, here a personal example with me. Maybe 1 week ago, I talked about a certain character in Scream that doesn't make it, and we'll just kind of leave it there because maybe some people will still get mad. And it was 2.5, almost 3 weeks after the movie had come out. I had seen multiple other channels not just upload the death scene, but also just talk about it very passingly, very just openly, had it in thumbnails, had it in titles, and they talked about it 8 days before I made the video. So I made the video almost 3 weeks after, and I saw people talk about it 8 days before that, so a week and a half after the movie. Not a single person had any problem with theirs. But of course, maybe it's because mine was bigger, whatever, they had a problem with mine. And I get being spoiled. I get how sucky of a I understand that, because as I've said, and those were not the only two, Barbossa and Han, I had other examples of things spoiled for me many a times. Games as well. Games have been spoiled for me. Like, some things are maybe I should just not read the comments that I should not be an idiot. You know what I mean? So, like, and again, I'm not saying, all right, well, if you do, now you take the inverse, right? Because this is how people will get you. Well, if you do read the comments, that means Alex says you're an idiot. But you have to, like, realize stuff. You know what I mean? You have to understand how it works. And again, a lot of it's not even the fault of, in my opinion, maybe the creator or the person publishing. It also is just, again, why are we seeing these random accounts and these random channels and all this stuff just kind of pop up? Well, again, like, you can kind of guess, you know what I mean? Like, YouTube is built around, if you upload X person death and Scream 20, like it's going to get views, which means it's going to get likes or dislikes. It's going to get comments, and then YouTube's algorithm is going to help it. It's just, that's how I'd actually kind of say it's fine, because I don't want the algorithm. It's already a complete freaking disaster. You know what I mean? It already doesn't work. Why mess with it even more? So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, just kind of accept it. But I do get it. I do get what spoilers can do to people, but I also think, again, context is key. If you're talking about a 2-3, I really think, because I use this argument in my defense in that Scream video, right, is that if you're a die-hard fan of anything, not just Scream, a movie, a game, if you're a die-hard fan and then you're on YouTube complaining on a YouTube video that you were spoiled about that topic weeks after it came out, it's not like you couldn't have seen it. Now, I mean, maybe you couldn't have seen it, but then don't go online. That's it, like, it's either, okay, you can't see it 3 weeks later for some reason every day, 20 days in a row, you were busy and you weren't able, which I highly doubt, but but maybe that people do, because maybe people do have lives. I do understand that. But on the reverse side of that is, okay, well, if that's actually true, which is fine, don't go online. The best way of getting out of the entire thing is to just not put yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. Unsubscribe from certain people, right? Or unsubscribe or turn off notifications so you don't know. I mean, we know YouTube doesn't show people anyway. I don't even know how people see videos nowadays. But, turn off the notification so that the videos don't get sent directly to you. Don't go perusing YouTube. Okay? And again, this is if it's weeks or so after. I sympathize with people the day of, the day after. Like, I understand it. But even that, I mean, in terms of personal responsibility and maybe standing up for, like, creators, the ability for them to exist and for them to post, not even exist, I guess, to post what they want, right? And I get, like, if you're opposed to that, like, in this sense, I guess I understand it. But to be on the more creator side of things, I guess maybe even like freedom, like you're allowed to spoil things. You're allowed to say stuff online. Now, how you do it is going to reflect on you, because it may make you look pretty bad or good, depending on, again, how long it's been or what specifically you're saying or what specifically you're posting. But this is the way. I mean, the day after Book of Boba Fett came out, I don't know what week or what day you guys are seeing it, but when Cad Bane was there, the day after, I had seen Cad Bane everywhere. It was just a thing. Everywhere on Twitter was posted that there was Cad Bane stuff. I posted Cad Bane. I got people mad at me. People unfollowed me because I posted. So it's like, okay. But I saw everybody else talk about it the day it came out. TV shows are also different, right? They're a lot different. I think they operate by a different rule set on Twitter. And also, Twitter operates differently. It's also a lot harder to hide. If you want to talk spoilers on Twitter, how do you even do, you know what I mean? You have to do like spoilers, enter, so it's like a long gap, and then say what you want to say. It's stupid, firstly. And secondly, it's just how you have to do it, because that's just how Twitter is. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that a little bit. Does it stem from the personal stuff that I've dealt with, from people getting mad at me, or also when I've gotten spoiled? Yes, like that's where this video stems from. But I do think it's a kind of a cool conversation because it's multifaceted. I don't think there is one person to blame. I think the best thing to do, though, is just truly take responsibility and stay off these things if you can. But also, that kind of sounds, I hate it when people say, well, if you're able to. It's like, well, no, just don't go on it. You are able to. I just know social media is such a, trust me, I have my phone with me literally every single second. I know it's like part of our DNA, but then to get mad at everybody else but not to take some responsibility for yourself, I guess depending on the situation, that's not right. And I'm kind of done with that, and I've been a big advocate on that stuff. I've tried to play by the online rules of spoilers, but what I think I've quickly found also is that every community, like talking about a character's death in a movie 3 weeks later, would have been okay for other film franchises like 5 days later. It would have been completely cool. In fact, I saw it. I think people talked about the Spider-Man being in Spider-Man No Way Home faster than people talked about character deaths in Scream, and yet for some reason, it was still too early to talk about Scream. So I truly don't know for some people. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, if you guys do like this stuff, I mean, this was a lot of fun for me. Could definitely do more topics like this in the future. Leave a like or a dislike or unsubscribe, however you're feeling. Currently, maybe it'll change in another minute or two. But let me know what you guys think. If you want to follow me anywhere, I have a Twitter account. I have a second YouTube channel. All these other places for you to be spoiled in the future by me. I have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for them all are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.